What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the 10-7 MMA. I'm DS, and right now what I wanted to do is I wanted to break down for you something that I'll be doing every week for every fight card moving forward, and it's the DS Parlay of the Week. Now, before I get into UFC 297 and the Parlay of the Week for this particular card, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a breakdown on the mind of a quirked up white boy like myself when it comes to these bets and kind of how I'm approaching them, right? So it's a parlay, right? You're betting at your own risk. You should be straight betting if you really want to make some money, right? But we all love parlays. We all love to try to hit the big money. So every week I'll be putting out one of these parlays, but it's kind of like a safety parlay, right? Like I'm trying to be a little bit conservative when it comes to the bets that I'm making here. So I like to have a little bit of fun, right? Most cards I do actually put a whole card parlay. Don't do that shit. I've never hit one. You'll probably never hit one, but do it if you want. But just wanted to give you an idea of kind of how I'm approaching these. So for this one, I'm not going to do this for every card, but for this one, I just wanted to kind of go down the entire fight card just really quickly. This is not going to be a super long video, and just give you an idea of how I go through these fights, right? So UFC 297 is this weekend. Obviously, super exciting main event. We've got Dricus versus Sean Strickland. We're all excited for that. But there are some other decent fights on this. Unfortunately, for this particular card, I just don't think it lends itself to a lot of safe bets, right? There's no such thing as a safe bet, let's be real. But I just don't think that this particular card especially lends itself to a lot of safe bets, right? So, realistically, let's just jump right into it. The first fight of the night at flyweight, we've got Malcolm Gordon taking on Jimmy the Brick Flick. We've got Malcolm Gordon at minus 205. We've got Jimmy Flick at plus 170. I expect Malcolm Gordon to win this fight. I just expect him to be able to hold his own on the ground. I expect him to have more power in this one and potentially get the finish. So I do like this particular fight. Minus 205. I'm taking Malcolm Gordon on the money line. We've got 4 items on this week's parlay. Like I said, it's not the best card for it, so I'm trying to keep it safe. So first one on the list, we've got Malcolm Gordon at minus 205. Next fight going down the card, we've got Jasmine Jasudavicius taking on Priscilla Cachoeira. It's a women's fight. I don't usually love to bet these women's fights just because they're so unpredictable, right? Especially the odds are not great, in my opinion. You got Jasmine at a minus 375. You got Priscilla at a plus 295. Priscilla has a lot of power. She could catch Jasmine, right? So I don't love this fight. The odds are a little too out of whack for me. Next on this one. Next fight, we've got Johan Lainez taking on Sam Patterson. Sam Patterson, we saw him knocked out brutally last time out. But there's some question marks in this fight, right? Sam Patterson is now making his move up to welterweight. He's at 170s. That's 15 pounds apart. That could have a big impact on this fight. It could have a big impact on his cardio, on his chin. And both him and Johan Lainez, they're kind of unpredictable. We've seen them both finished, right? Sam Patterson probably better on the ground. Johan Lainez probably better in the power department. It's not something that I like, and I expect it to be a pretty close fight. Minus 148 for Johan Lainez, plus 124 for Sam Patterson. I'm skipping this one. Next fight, we've got our second women's fight of the card, and I think it's the only other one left. We got Raquel Pennington too. Our second women's fight of the card, Jillian Robertson taking on Polyana Viana. Jillian Robertson is a minus 285 favorite. We've got Polyana Viana as a plus 230 underdog. It's a women's fight. But I just think the wrestling of Jillian Robertson is going to be a clear and concise strength in this fight. Polyana Viana loves to throw up submissions. So, again, you're always taking a risk. It's betting, right? But for me, this is one of the rare instances where I kind of do like Jillian Robertson here. I wish the odds were a little bit better. Minus 285 isn't great, but I do expect her to win. So I'm taking Jillian Robertson on the money line here at minus 285. I'll go over what the parlay is at the very end, too. I'm just giving you a quick rundown here. Next fight, we've got Sergi City taking on Ramon Taveras. These guys fought on Dana White's Contender Series. Ramon Taveras was pretty clearly winning that fight, landing some good shots. Sergi City ended up getting the knockout. So I feel like I'm saying Circuit City when I say Sergi City. And Dino Bimba pointed out that last time, too. So, but Sergi City is a favorite, minus 185. We've got Ramon Taveras at plus 154. I like Ramon Taveras here. I picked him to win this fight. I like his heart. The fact that he came back on the last week of the Contender Series as the main event, right? and to close out the year or two on the Contender Series and got a big knockout in 30 seconds, I think that says a lot. So the only issue is the odds are pretty close, minus 185, plus 154. And we saw Circuit City just get the win. I want Ramon Taveras to win. I got him to win, but I don't think that I would put that in something I consider to be a safe parlay when we just saw him lose to this guy. So moving down the card, we got my boy, Charles Jourdain, taking on Sean Woodson. So I do have a bet on this one. It's not a money line bet. Charles Jourdain is the favorite at minus 205. We've got Sean Woodson as a plus 170 underdog. Sean Woodson has a good chance of this one, I think. I think it's going to be a good fight. I did pick Charles Jourdain to win this one. I'm just not super confident. Sean Woodson is tough to take down. He's got a lot of leverage, right, because he's so damn tall. Charles Jourdain is very well-rounded. I expect him to mix it up, too. But it's just not something I'm super comfortable betting on the money line. However, I don't see a finish happening in this fight. So what I do like is I like the over 2.5 rounds prop, which as of now is at a minus 145. So I do like the bet, just don't like picking a winner for betting in this one. All right. Next, fight of the night potential here. We got Brad Katona taking on Garrett Armfield. Brad Katona is a minus 192 favorite. Garrett Armfield is a plus 160 underdog. Dino Bam Bam picked Brad Katona, the favorite, at minus 192. I feel like it's going to be a super close fight, man. I really do. Garrett Armfield, I think, has a really good chance in this one. So I actually do like a couple underdogs that I'll just touch on at the very end of this. But this is not something I want to bet on right now. So moving on to the next fight, we've got Arnold Allen taking on Movsar Evloev. Same kind of thing. I expect it to be a really, really close fight. There are a lot of really, really close fights, or what I expect to be really, really close fights on this card. Arnold Allen is a plus 170 underdog. I think he's got a very good chance to win this. I expect him to be better on the feet. We got Movsar Evloev at minus 205. He could just take him down, work the wrestling, and get a boring, let's say, win that way. So this is not a fight that I'm going to be betting, right? Moving down the card, Chris Curtis taking on Marc-Andre Barriault at 185. Chris Curtis is now the minus 192 favorite. Marc-Andre Barriault plus 160 underdog. Again, I think Marc-Andre Barriault is very likely to land more volume. He's going to land more kicks. He's going to mix it up. He's the cardio king of the division, in my opinion, right? And he's taking on Chris Curtis. Now, Chris Curtis is 36 years old, I want to say, at this point. He's got a lot of power, though. He's got a lot of power. Very well could be a knockout. But I could also just see Marc-Andre Barriault just kind of peppering him and landing more shots over the 3 rounds and winning it. I could even see him getting the knockout. So not going to be betting this fight. I'm sorry. And I realized I skipped the Arnold Allen Movsar Evloev one. I did have a bet on that one. It just wasn't money line. I think this one is very likely to go to not get a finish. So I see over 2.5 on this one as well. So just to recap, the 4 picks that I have: Malcolm Gordon minus 205, Jillian Robertson minus 285, over 2.5 rounds in the Charles Jourdain Sean Woodson fight, and over 2.5 rounds in Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev. That puts the odds for the parlay at a plus 333. If you believe in angel numbers, there you go. Throw some cash on it. So only 4 picks this week. Like I said, not the best betting card for me. I'll just finish out the card since I'm already doing it. Next fight, we got Neil Magny, Mike Malott. I think Neil Magny has a chance to win this, right? This is a big step up for Mike Malott. And he's also a minus 355 favorite. Don't love that, right? Raquel Pennington, Mayra Bueno Silva, right? Super close. Another women's fight for the vacant bantamweight title. Or if Juliana Pena is somebody that you listen to and believe, it's for the interim belt. She's the true champion. Go figure. And then, of course, the main event, Sean Strickland minus 125, plus 105 for Dricus du Plessis. Who knows what's going to happen here? I expect Dricus to get the knockout. I very well could see Sean Strickland getting either a late knockout or winning by decision in this one. So for the sake of this particular parlay where I'm trying to keep it safe, I will not be betting it. I do want to mention a couple underdogs, or 4 underdogs really, that I actually do really like. At least they're underdogs right now as of Wednesday evening in Chicago. And those underdogs are Garrett Armfield at plus 160. I think he's a live dog. Sean Woodson at plus 170. I want Charles Jourdain to win. I expect him to win, but I do think that Sean Woodson is a live dog here. And then we also have Ramon Taveras. I already mentioned him earlier. I expect him to get the win. I really like this kid. I think both these guys are pretty good, but plus 150, I like those odds there. And then Raquel Pennington. It's a women's fight. I think she's very fundamentally sound, and I expect her to win this fight as the underdog. So for shits and giggles, if you combine 1, 2, 3, 4, if you combine those guys, those odds are real nice. So if you're feeling real ballsy, throw some money on that. But that's basically how this is going to go. I'm going to be dropping these every week. There's really not much else to it. Let me know what you think. If you place money on it and it wins, let me know how you feel. If you place it and you lose, come shit on me if you want. It's all good in the hood. UFC 297 this weekend. This is the 10-7 MMA. I'm DS, and if you like the content, whether it's this video or any other, hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell so you can be notified when we drop new videos. Give us a like, give us a comment, right? Check out our other videos. We're also on Instagram, same handle as on YouTube at the 10-7 MMA. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.